and welcome to Pale Blue Pod, the astronomy podcast for people who are overwhelmed by the universe but still want to be its friend. I'm your host, Dr. Moiya McTier. I'm an astrophysicist, a folklorist, and a good friend to the universe. I am recording this episode from my office here at Pale Blue Podiversity, and I'm expecting a special guest. Rory Bricca is a musician, composer, and conductor studying music at Yale University. His composition, Active Galactic Nuclei, was just performed by the Boston Pops Orchestra, and he's coming by to tell us all about it. He should be here any minute now. Hi, Rory. Welcome. Come on in.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
It's lovely that you've made the long trek out to the Podiversity. Thank you for sending your music ahead of time. I've had a great time listening to it. Is there anything else you would want listeners to know about you before we get started?
No. I don't know.
No. Like, that said it all.
I am a student at Yale University, majoring in music with a emphasis on composition. And I play the piano and the French horn, both like classical and jazz and sort of free improvisation kind of stuff. Also starting to learn the organ.
Ooh, very fun. Do you have a favorite among those? Is that like asking a parent to pick a favorite child?
I mean, I think I probably have to say the piano. It's the one I've played the longest. So, and you know, unlike the French horn, you can play multiple notes at a time. So, yeah, you can play a whole piece on the piano by yourself, whereas like horn, you need other people. So, selfishly, I don't know.
Oh, it's interesting that you called that selfish because you like being a team player.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I like both. For different reasons. Because like piano, you can like be the star and like play your own music. Whereas like with the French horn, you get to play as like part of a larger ensemble and get to make music with other people. So I like doing both.
Awesome. I was once a band kid. I played the clarinet for many, many years.
Love it.
And
me too.
Love it. My clarinet's actually like right above me right now in my recording closet. Okay, then I have some get to know you questions so we can dig in a little deeper into who Rory is. The first is, when you think about how big the universe is, how do you feel?
Like, wow. I don't know. In awe. I don't know, speechless, I guess.
Clearly. I love that. You're just so awestruck. You're starstruck, literally.
Yeah, right.
But you're not afraid of it. It doesn't give you any sort of existential dread.
I mean, maybe like a little bit. But I think I've like come to terms with the fact that that's just like impossible to conceive. And so I'm not even gonna like try, I guess, to like understand all of it, you know. But
I like that coping mechanism.
I guess there's a little bit of like, I don't know what that means, but that's okay. You know, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes. You know what, universe? I don't have to understand all of you to know that it's good you're out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Next question, a little bit less serious. What's your favorite unit of measurement?
Unit of measurement? Oh boy.
Yeah. Any even like a weird one. Like someone once said like a pinch, you know?
Oh my gosh, wait. Okay. So this is a throwback to, she's going to love this, to my math teacher I had in middle school who would be really on our case about always including like units in our answer for math questions. So whenever you just wrote the answer like 5 or something without saying like 5 centimeters, she'd be like, what, 5 bananas? So I think my favorite unit of measurement is bananas.
That's nice. That has a little backstory. Shout out, Ms. Reed. Shout out to the math teachers out there.
For real.
Next question. Do you feel like your astrology sign, your sun sign, matches your personality?
Oh, I mean, I know that I'm a Capricorn, but I don't really know what that means except that like I'm like really stubborn, or is that right?
Yes, as a fellow Capricorn, hello. The parts of it that I really identify with are, being kind of stubborn, being very ambitious, being very like loyal and persistent, and like once you make your mind up about something, you're gonna do it, especially if it's about like your profession.
I think that sounds about right.
Word. Always nice to meet a fellow Capricorn. Is there any event in space that you would really like to witness?
Event in space? I don't know. What events in space are coming up?
You could go backwards and forwards in time.
I mean, the Big Bang? I don't know. Like,
yeah. Yeah, imagine you're safe. You're entirely safe the whole time.
Yeah, I'm an outside observer of the Big Bang. You know, I'm not
Right.
I'm not being subjected to it, but like, you know, I'm like watching it on a TV screen or something. I don't know.
Yeah, from your preferred perspective, wherever that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. Is that because you know some stuff about the Big Bang and you want to confirm or
Well, I mean, I listened to your episode on it. Does that count?
that counts? You could answer a lot of good questions we have.
Yeah, right. Exactly right. Because we don't know everything. Yeah, that would be, I could be the Big Bang expert for.
You could.
Yeah.
You would publish so many papers. You would have so many citations.
Right. Yeah. Career pivot. Like
A hard career
Yeah.
pivot for sure. So okay, you could do both.
Yeah.
You just collect enough data on that one trip. You use that for the rest of your life.
Right.
And you're set.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially since you're a musician, I'm excited to hear your
okay.
answer to this. Imagine you're an astronaut, you're going on a mission
Okay.
in space, but you are in charge of the playlist during the launch.
Oh,
So what
gosh.
song do you want to be playing like right as you blast off?
Oh boy. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna go with there's this like jazz fusion band called Sungazer that has a so which I think one the band name is fitting. And two the song called Sequence Start, which I think also sounds fitting. So there's this YouTuber, like music YouTuber named Adam Neely, and like he uses the song. Well, he's part of the band, so he uses it on his YouTube videos. So sometimes it's like my wake up alarm is this song. One, because I think it's fitting because it's like you're starting the sequence of your day, right?
Right.
And also because it makes my life feel like a YouTube video.
That's a great answer.
I don't know. It's a little weird, but I feel like I'm getting like into the groove of like, oh, my life is very important. I'm in a YouTube video right now. I don't know.
And you haven't started to resent it since it's your alarm sound?
Oh, well, yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to introduce
but I feel
that.
like I could renew my enthusiasm for it if it was like the blast off music, you know?
You're right. This is
Yeah.
my going into space
I get
sound.
new association. Yeah.
So you would want to go into space. That's something you'd take the opportunity to do?
I was wondering if you would ask those questions. Honestly, probably not. Wait, I was actually curious to ask. Like, so does like going into a zero gravity zone like feel like you're in one of those like amusement park rides that are like free fall things?
Mm-hmm.
Is it like one of those except it like never stops? Because that sounds like I love those rides, but like when they last 4 seconds, you know, that sounds like extremely scary and painful.
So the reason those rides feel super intense is because you're experiencing an extreme change in acceleration.
Right.
If you were just in free fall for longer than 4 seconds and you weren't experiencing the acceleration or deceleration really quickly, that falling feeling is really just like you're floating.
Really?
Like if you're in
Okay.
perfectly body temperature water.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Because so I always thought that I didn't want to go into space because it would like be super nauseating. And
Well,
like,
it is for other reasons.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, the falling is fine.
Okay, then maybe, sure. I mean, I imagine it'd probably get pretty boring after a while. I don't know.
I mean, their days are packed. Their days are scheduled down to like the hour. They have to exercise a bunch. They're up there doing science experiments.
Okay.
They have to journal regularly and take care of their health.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess I was just thinking like if you were like traveling to like Jupiter or something, there'd probably be like a lot of waiting, you know?
That's years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You would need a lot of puzzles or something.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would go to space now that you know it's not like the
Potentially.
Tower of Terror or something.
Right. Yeah.
Cool. I'm not. I'm staying here.
Okay.
I'm staying on Earth, but I hope you enjoy.
I would do it, but I would also I would think for a long time, first, about all the people I'm leaving behind. And two, like, are there better things I feel like it seems like one of those things that like would sound like super awesome and exciting, but a part of me wonders if it would like, if I would regret. Well, it depends on how long I'm going for, you know? Like,
Right.
am I going for like few days or few weeks, like that would be pretty awesome. Like you're taking a little space vacation, you know?
Mm-hmm,
But like if I'm up there for like 5 years, like that's a little much. Like, I don't know.
You're missing a lot of life at that point.
Yeah.
I think with the song you chose, you're probably going on a mission around the sun, so you'll be back in a couple weeks.
Okay. Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, thank you for answering my get to know you questions. I feel like I understand a bit more about who Rory is as a person.
Nice.
Now I want to know more about this piece that you wrote.
Yeah.
It's called Active Galactic Nuclei, or Nucleus. Is it plural?
It is plural. Actually, it was originally
Nice.
singular, and then I changed it because I thought it sounded cooler.
I agree. It does. What inspired you to write a piece about black holes in the first place?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm a student at Yale, and at Yale we have these like distributional requirement classes. You know, they're like typical like gen ed. You know, you have to take some humanities classes, social science, some science. So I needed a science requirement, right? So I took this class called Introduction to Relativity and Black Holes with Professor Charles Balin. And it was
Does that
like,
just sound interesting to you, or are you
yeah.
a glutton for punishment?
both.
Okay, cool.
You know, I was like, well, that sounds cool, you know? And I don't know, I had done like some like middle school project on special and general relativity. And obviously I wasn't really like understanding anything of like what that was, but like a little bit, I'm like, oh, like,
Adults don't understand it either. It's fine.
so I was like, you know, like I remember that like being interesting back in 8th grade. Like maybe I could try to like learn some about what it actually is. But like luckily this class was like also geared towards like non-astronomy and physics majors. So like the math was like manageable. It was still like super confusing, but at least the math was manageable. And the professor did a good job of like making it like mind blowing.
I mean, that's a topic that's easy to blow minds with.
Yes.
The expansion of the universe and how old everything is. Like, that's wild stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, so I took this class and I was like, okay, I wonder if there's like something here that like could inspire a piece of music, right? Like that'd be pretty crazy. And, you know, so then we got to the part of the class where we're like actually talking about like black holes. And there's specifically this one lecture on active galactic nuclei, which are like, you know, supermassive black holes. And I thought that was super cool. One, because it's like you've got the most like powerful, dense things in the universe, right? Like I want to write a piece about that, you know? And also, you know, because it has like an accretion disk around it. So it's like all of this like swirling matter. And I thought that was like a really cool image that could potentially make some really cool sounds of like super strong, powerful thing surrounded by all this swirling stuff. And how can I make music that sounds like swirling stuff?
Ooh, I love that chain of inspiration. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You said that at some point you started wondering if you could make music about what you were learning in this astronomy class.
Yeah.
Are you just going around all the time in life thinking like, oh, could I make music about that?
Yes and no. So sometimes I do have those thoughts. I mean,
cool.
Obviously writing a piece of music like takes a long time, right? So it's not like I'm gonna like write a piece about everything in the universe.
Just the important things like black holes.
Yeah, right. It's like, you know, there's a vending machine over there. I don't know if I'd write a piece about a vending machine, but
ode to the vending machine.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that like, and this is also like I was taking this class spring of like last year's 2024. And I knew that summer I was going to be writing a new orchestra composition for this summer festival that I was going to be at in North Carolina. And I was trying to kind of get ideas for what this orchestra piece would be about. I had like written pieces for orchestra before, but I wanted to try something a little bit different, a little more kind of experimental, I guess, a little more crazy and avant-garde sounding. But I was a little bit kind of lost of like, where do I start, you know? And I thought like, normally I feel like I start with sort of a melody or a chord progression or something like that. And that is kind of the foundation that I can kind of build the piece off of, you know? But if I wanted something that doesn't have those kind of more traditional musical elements, I felt like I needed something to go off of. So I was like, maybe I could use some kind of crazy like image or something. And that's how I got to be thinking about maybe something astronomy related,
Awesome. Yeah, we have so many crazy images.
Right. Exactly.
It's kind of our thing. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
So what astronomy concepts were you able to incorporate into the piece, and like how did that translation work?
Yeah. So there are some that are more obvious, and there are some that are more kind of like, I don't know if you'd really hear it, but like just like crazy ideas that were going in my mind that like sort of led to some musical idea. So, you can try to listen for it if you want to. The more obvious ones were like supermassive black hole. Like, what is that? This is like, well, it's super massive. So super like big, like lots of matter, right? And super dense and with really strong gravity. So I'm like, what sounds like that? Well, probably like really loud, really low sounds, right? So that's how the piece starts, is with this really low note. It's a low E natural played by like the basses and bass trombone.
It like gets your attention.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I wanted to kind of startle the audience a little bit with that.
Yeah, I see the parallels there.
Yeah. And then, like 40 seconds into the piece-ish, you start to hear the accretion disk of swirling matter.
Ooh. Is that the little chimes? Because I wrote down in my notes that there were these like chimes at around 45 seconds that I really liked.
So that's definitely part of it. So I kind of created this sort of composite texture of like a few different sounds. So yeah, there are the chime sounds, which are actually crotales and glockenspiel, I think.
Okay. I knew there was some glockenspiel in this.
Yeah. And also harp, I think, in there too. It sounds a little celestial,
Yeah.
And then you also got these just like kind of like staccato notes, I think, in muted trumpet as well. And then there are all these, the whole woodwind section is doing this technique that I consider it kind of like a motif for the piece a little bit. It's just like some kind of musical idea that repeats throughout the piece, comes back in various forms. What each instrument is doing is like sustaining a single note. So like crescendoing, so getting louder. And then all of a sudden glissandoing downward. So it sounds like
There was a lot of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Like things falling downstairs, but in a very nice sounding way.
Exactly. And I guess the way I was thinking of it, it's like being, I was going to say sucked into a black hole, but I know you like had a whole thing about how it's not being sucked. So
it's falling.
Yeah. So you have each individual instrument doing that, but then when you put like a bunch of them doing it together, but not all at the same time, then it just creates this like texture of that probably sounds kind of weird, but
like you're falling head over heels through this accretion disk.
I guess so. I mean, I guess the way I was thinking about it is it just sounds like swirling, you know, because it's like this kind of perpetual falling, I guess.
Love it.
So you've got that plus the chime sounds, the glockenspiel and crotales and harp, and put them together, and you've got this swirling accretion disk texture.
Okay. I love that. I feel like we just did a little bit of this, but I'd love to hear some of the piece and like walk through the piece with you, and you can stop whenever you're like, I wanted to. This is what I was doing here. You know, like every artist's dream.
Yeah, sure. I mean, do you want me to play from the beginning, or like from like 40 seconds, or maybe a little bit before then? I don't know.
It's like 5 minutes. We can do from the beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and you can just like, because you already talked about the 45-second thing, but then stop whenever you want.
Okay, awesome. Let's get your big chord, big low note.
I like the introductory text, the expository text.
Yeah. So then here's where you start getting the swirling texture.
Yeah, this definitely sounds like spinning.
Awesome. start to get some more rhythmic elements, kind of, again, more of that kind of supermassive black hole, like big, powerful, scary sounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in there you heard this other motif in the piece that's introduced by the xylophone that goes dum, ding, dum, ding,
Yeah, can you replay it?
Yes. Right here. So there what I did is I took the xylophone, which is, strong attack, so even kind of comes out of the texture. And it's doing this thing where it starts with a 2-octave jump. So don, dee. That's not the right pitches, obviously. But, and then it like slowly, the low and the high note like approach each other. So it's inward. So that's what I was thinking. It's kind of like an object kind of like spiraling like into the black hole.
Yes. Also very reminiscent of like 2 black holes in a binary spiraling in towards each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
awesome.
They're going like chromatically inwards. They're going like one note at a time, closer and closer. And then, as they approach each other, they get faster and faster. It's like,
like gravitational waves do.
Yes, exactly. And I was also like, I don't know, the image that came to my mind for this was like, those like funnels in science museums,
Mm-hmm.
where you put the quarter in and then it's like going around, but then as it gets closer, then it starts going like spiraling in like really fast, like, and then finally it drops into the like center hole.
Yes. Yes. That's exactly what I tell people to picture when I'm explaining black holes. I'm like,
okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yes. You got it.
I think that must have been in my science class somewhere. And so that's kind of the image I was thinking about, where you've got this sound that's like approaching the center and speeding up, and it gets really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And then so then I took that and kind of threw that around in this next section in like a bunch of different instruments, combination of instruments. And it grows like a little bit harder to hear, but it ends up just becoming this kind of blur of like crazy noise, like a bunch of different iterations of this motif kind of layered on top of each other to the point that it just sounds like a lot of like random notes that give off the kind of crazy, I don't know, black hole activity.
Yeah, I called it the circus part in my notes. And
I love
like,
that.
Yeah, it's like, this is the fun part. This is where all the action is happening. And there is like so much action around black holes. It made total sense.
Yeah, wait, I should mark that in the score. Circus part. And there, so, we have this big crescendo, and then this arrival point of, which is kind of like going back to the beginning with the big low notes, except now it's a full chord, which with the video is like, I know they're not, it looks like explosions. I know they're not actually explosions, but it's like, I guess, kind of like supposed to be like zooming into the black hole and like going through to the other side of it or something.
That's the impression I got.
All the light of the universe. This was just like from an animation video that I had taken from elsewhere. But yeah, I thought that kind of...
Yeah, no, I didn't get the impression that they were explosions. But yeah, it really did feel like we were breaking through the event horizon.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Then now we have these like, super big chords. It's again, like, I had some fun. I marked, how like sometimes in music you have like little expression markings kind of in italic text, like dolce, like sweetly, or cantabile, like in a like singing style. I marked in the score like fortissimo, so very loud, with a mass of 3 billion suns.
That's so good. This upcoming part is my favorite part.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think mine too, because it's like really big chords and it's supposed to be like get the full experience of like the supermassiveness of these objects.
Yeah,
you know?
but then also like getting really quiet. You'll hear it.
Exactly.
Like getting really quiet and like
the
experiencing
contrast.
the extremes. Yes.
That's
what I really like.
Yeah, and that's actually, so in the whole kind of second half of the piece, there's a lot of that kind of switching back and forth between like really loud and really quiet. And I guess that was, in my mind, kind of like jump cuts and like film editing, you know, where you're like, all of a sudden, like it cuts to like a scene and you're like in the middle of the scene, sort of. My parents are actually filmmakers. So,
very cool.
So I was imagining like at one moment you're like staring at the black hole like up close, you know, and it's like super powerful and terrifying. And then, you know, because like these objects are really far away from us, then it's like suddenly shifting to the perspective more kind of like of astronomers that are just like kind of sensing these like, you know, radio waves and other like, you know, waves along the electromagnetic spectrum, where it's like, it doesn't feel super big and scary because it's super far away and it's just these like distant signals, you know? So that kind of, I thought it'd be interesting to kind of put those two together, where it's like super big and loud and scary, and then like, oh, it's just light waves, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there with you. That contrast is fun.
Yeah. Okay, and then that's the start of a new section. So it's like, we've got these big chords that keep, you know, we thought this was an arrival point, but then suddenly the chords keep getting like higher and higher, you know? And then you have this last one that leads into this next section, which, if you remember when I was talking about the motif where the note crescendos and then it like glissandos down, it's like, so now that's taken from the woodwinds and it's now being given to the brass. So you've got the trumpets, horns, and trombones all doing this thing where they're starting out on a note and then glissandoing downward. And I think it's a lot more dramatic here. And again, that's supposed to be kind of just this like swirling texture and almost like violent sort of swirling because like the matter is moving super fast, you know? Yeah. So again, layering these sounds on top of each other creates this swirling texture.
Awesome. Yeah, and by going from like the woodwinds to the brass too, it's like getting heavier and deeper as you swirl in towards the black hole.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm giving you the nuggets.
Yeah. Okay, so here, well, first of all, I don't know if you can notice, but every time the slapstick hits, it's also, the instrument's literally called a whip, which sounds kind of weird, but, you know, it's just like kind of clapping sound. It's switching back and forth between the glissandos going downward and then going upward. Kind of, so, then in this third section, right where I stopped, now it's not only glissandoing downward, but it's also introducing a technique called flutter tongue in the brass instruments, which is basically when you're like rolling your R's, like in Spanish, while playing your instrument.
Oh, nice.
So you're blowing into the trumpet. Well, I actually can't roll my R's. So I can't do the technique myself, but it creates, like, you'll hear, it's just this like really violent sound.
Interesting.
Yeah. And again, here you have another moment where it's like cutting to like really far away. It's supposed to be from like, remind me how far we are from like black, what is it, like thousands of millions of light years?
Yeah, we're about 25,000 light years from Sagittarius star.
Gotcha. Okay, so imagine like that. You're super far away.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly up close again. There's the part where it gets like super crazy and violent.
Hey there, it's me. Rory heard some birds chirping outside, so we went out on the balcony to compose a piece inspired by bird song, and I'm sure it's going to be lovely. So I'm going to take these moments to share some messages with you, and the first message is a big thank you to all of my patrons who support the show financially every single month. It would be really hard to keep making Pale Blue Pod without your support, so thank you so much. And I want to give a huge thank you and a special shout out to my sun-like stars, Scott Reynolds, Tom T, Nicole Bartlett, and Ashley Shambo. You're beautiful, you're golden, and your mass is perfect. Thank you so much. You too can join this awesome group of people. You can hear your name on the show, make it onto my patron star chart, and get research notes for most episodes for $5 a month at patreon.com/palebluepod. Brighter tiers like my sun-like stars get access to Pale Blue Pod at night, where I read bedtime stories in a calm, soothing voice. If you sign up to be a sun-like star this week, you can actually hear me read the never-before-heard introduction to the book that I've been working on for over 2 years. Mothers of Invention comes out next summer, but the suns in the Pale Blue Pod sky get to hear a bit of it now. So sign up at patreon.com/palebluepod. My next message is a request to please check out That's a Lot Show if you haven't already. Episodes 5 and 6 come out this week, and you can watch them on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube by following That's a Lot Show, and all of the links are in the episode description. Thank you so much for watching. I think you'll enjoy it. I am particularly fond of some of the moments in episode 5, so enjoy. Okay, Rory is back whistling a jaunty tune, but I think it's time to continue this conversation about AGN.
Okay, and then that brings us to this last section, which, if you can see the animation video that goes along with it, you'll see it's actually using this video from NASA from a year ago. Do you know this video?
I don't know this video.
Oh, okay. So this was something I had composed, like, the first draft of the piece and got a recording of it at this music festival. And then I wanted to kind of make a video, like an animation video to go along with it. And so what I did was I found all these public domain like animations online from like NASA and places like that. And so I was just looking on YouTube and I found this one video that actually had only just been released like 2 months earlier. So like very lucky on that. This video called NASA simulation plunges into a black hole.
Awesome.
It's this super crazy video where I guess so in the video description it says the project generated about 10 terabytes of data, equivalent to roughly half the estimated text content in the Library of Congress, and took about 5 days running on just 0.3% of Discover's 129,000 processors. Now, I don't know exactly what that means, but
astronomers deal with a lot of really big data sets.
Yeah, I'm like, so that on its own, like, blows your mind, you know? And I thought it was super cool that, like, so you're getting this, like, super detailed simulation that, of course, is, like, you know, there's still some kind of, like, artistic interpretation here of, like, obviously because the, like, electromagnetic radiation is not just in the visible spectrum, so you're, like, making it into, like, into visible light. But in any case, like, you're getting to look like what it would, like, look like to fall into a black hole, which was exactly what this last minute of my composition was supposed to be. It's like this big crescendo that's supposed to be like getting closer and closer to a black hole. So super scary. So, so you start out with, again, this single note, this E natural, except now it's not super low. It's like kind of mid-range, sustained note. and then it's like expanding outward from there. We call contrary motion in music, where it's like the high sounds are getting higher and the low sounds are getting lower. It sounds like a big crescendo, getting more and more intense as you're falling into the black hole. And then, okay, here's where sort of the more kind of crazy astronomical ideas come in. So I guess I was also thinking about like spaghettification, falling into a black hole as one does.
As we do.
Typical Tuesday. How like your head and your feet are getting like stretched apart, like spaghetti. And I guess that was kind of part of the idea of this like contrary motion idea. So like the high sounds are getting higher. That's like your head like getting further away from your feet, which are like the low sounds getting lower. Like, I don't know if that actually makes sense, but it makes sense in my head.
I'm there with you. I love it.
And then also kind of the idea of gravitational time dilation. How at least like when you're like observing something falling into a black hole from like a distance, it's like time is like slowing down to a halt as you're approaching the event horizon.
Yeah, the closer you get to a massive object, the slower time moves for you. Yeah.
Thank you. So, and I guess that was like, if you'll hear there's these big chords that start out pretty fast and then gradually get slower and slower and longer. So it's like time slowing down, And I actually, I had originally like another like fun little marking in the score. I had written time slowing down. And then I took it out because I thought I was like, oh wait, they're probably going to think that I literally mean the tempo slowing down.
Right. That's 100% how I would interpret that.
Right. Yeah. So I need to be careful. I can't have too much fun that it actually like makes the music confusing.
Right. You need experience Einstein's relativistic time.
Right. I think what I marked in was like gravitational time dilation, which I assumed was like confusing enough that people wouldn't actually pay too much attention to it. Oh, and then I'll also mark at the very end of the piece, there's like one big final chord and one final hit of the slapstick instrument. And I guess that was supposed to be like, I don't know, like you finally reaching the event horizon, where like time has stopped or whatever. And so again, one of those things that's like, I don't know how to conceive of that, because I don't think we don't really know what happens at that point, right? So
that's where the artistic freedom comes in. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. But I'm like, okay, well, clearly this is like the end of existence. It's not just death. It's like the universe has stopped. From your perspective. So yeah, why not big final chord? And then in the video, it's like this little like lens flare effect where it suddenly gets all white, and then it's like I guess on like one of those like old TVs, like you're turning it off, and then suddenly all the like it just go like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like in I Love Lucy or something, where the black screen comes into the circle at the center.
Yes, exactly. Except like super quickly, like all of a sudden. Yeah, exactly. So I guess that's like, your perception of the universe as a TV show has suddenly come to an end.
Excellent.
Big chords getting slower.
That's great. I love when the songs end on a slapstick. It's good. It reminds me of, I think it was maybe the Polar Express. I remember we played this in band.
Oh my gosh!
It like ends with there's so much slapstick, and I loved it.
It's one of my favorite instruments for sure. it's interesting as a composer, like working like with something like an orchestra, how percussion instruments can like a single instrument can be more powerful than like an entire like 20-person string section, you know, just because it's such an immediate sound, such a quick, as we said, like ASDR, attack, sustain, decay, release.
Ooh.
In acoustics. So the slapstick instrument, it's immediate, it very loud, but also very short, which gives it super punchy, I mean,
SNL taught us the value of percussion with the cowbell. So
right,
we know how powerful it can be.
Yep. Yeah.
And how you always need more of it.
Always need more cowbell.
Is this type of fun percussive stuff and all of the interesting techniques that you mentioned, is that more part of a contemporary style piece? I read that this is your first contemporary style piece.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So this is part of me trying to explore more of a kind of contemporary, or sometimes we call it new music sound that's using more, like you said, contemporary techniques, sounds that are more kind of reminiscent of music from the 20th or 21st century rather than the kind of more traditional like Brahms or Beethoven, And yes, I think definitely like the use of percussion instruments is something that is more associated with more contemporary like 20th and 21st century music. I'm not sure that I would go as far as to say that they're like super avant-garde or experimental necessarily. Pretty commonly used techniques, especially in like band music,
Yeah.
But definitely like a focus on percussion.
Okay, cool. What was this experience like for you, switching from, I guess, more like classical styles?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I never know quite what to call it because
right.
like all of my music is like sort of classical inspired, but at the same time, it definitely doesn't sound like Beethoven, or Mozart or anything, It's sort of a mix of like classical and jazz and like contemporary music, and I guess this was just slightly higher on the, in terms of proportions on the contemporary spectrum. But I had wanted to explore a more experimental, you might say, sound, and was a little nervous doing that because like I wasn't sure exactly where to start, which again, like starting with an image I thought helped a lot, and focusing on like, weird sounds and textures rather than melody and chord progression. But I came away from it really pleasantly surprised that like, wow, I was able to create something that sounds a little more avant-garde, but also still sounds like me. And I still was able to be really proud of the piece, and it was potentially like maybe even like more powerful than something that was a little more classical sounding,
And it let you incorporate all of these like kind of abstract concepts in a way that might have been more difficult.
That's a great point. Yeah. So I think it was really exciting for me and made me, want to compose more in this, air quotes, contemporary style more. So, yeah.
Look, and at the end of the day, genres are a funny little concept, aren't they?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it's so hard. People ask me all the time, so what kind of music do you write? Like, what's your style? And I'm like, good question. You tell me.
Right. Let me know when you figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, do you have a wide range of inspirations for your interests?
Well, first of all, when I thought about writing like an orchestra piece about space, obviously one of the first things that comes to mind is Gustav Holst's The Planets Suite, which is kind of classic.
Oh, yeah. Big fan.
Yeah, like 1914 and 1917, I think, is when he composed it. So it's this set of movements about different planets besides Earth. And actually, this is long enough that I think Pluto still hadn't been discovered yet, maybe? Or like,
right, yeah. That wasn't until 1931.
So I guess that leaves, 7 planets?
Right, because he didn't do one about Earth.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah. Although, actually, his inspiration from that came more from the astrology side than the astronomy side. He was really more depicting, like, the Greek and Roman gods that were associated with each planet, more so than, like, the planets themselves. So I guess I was trying to go more on the astronomy side than the astrology side with this piece. But certainly that was in my mind. And you can actually hear this one little section of the piece in the middle where it has this bass line that goes dun 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 dun, which is actually a little musical quote from Uranus the Magician, one of the movements of the
Planet that's awesome.
Suite. Yeah, just to play a little trip. And that's my favorite movement. So
Uranus is the best planet.
Yeah. Well, what makes Uranus the best planet?
Yes, that is my official stance, which means it's also the pod's official
Right.
stance. I like it because it has so many superlatives. It's the most extreme in its axial tilt, so it's like actually on its side.
Okay.
It rotates opposite of its orbit direction. It's like the only planet that does that. It has a ring system, but everyone always forgets that it has a ring system.
Right, I know. I think rings, I think of Saturn.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, there are other planets, like Neptune also has rings. Saturn's are just loud and flashy.
Right.
But Uranus is there, classy, sleepy.
Yeah.
Doing all the cool stuff and not making a show about it.
Right. Yeah.
This is a Uranus Stan podcast.
Yeah.
I know. I love that you got to incorporate that classic piece. That's
right.
Obviously what came to my mind when you reached out and you were like, I made this piece about space.
Yes.
Awesome.
So that was, an inspiration, but there are also more contemporary pieces that inspired it. So in terms of the writing something really loud and big, one inspiration for that was this piece by this composer, John Corigliano, I think it's from 2005 or something. That's actually for wind band. His Symphony No. 3, Circus Maximus. That's what it's called.
Circus.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes, exactly.
That's awesome.
And it's sort of a depiction of ancient Roman, gladiator entertainment kind of thing, chariot races, that kind of thing. It's about that, but it's also a metaphor for contemporary society, how we're all addicted to our phones and that kind of thing. Constant need for entertainment. But anyway, it's this piece that's super loud and big, and it actually starts with 11 trumpets who are all standing not on stage, but actually in the balconies of the audience.
So cool.
Literally surrounding the audience. So it's supposed to be a surround sound symphony is the idea. And so it starts with 2 or 3 minutes of literally just the trumpets blasting at the audience from all sides. It's supposed to be this, terrifying sound. And so that kind of the general vibes of that were if I'm writing a piece about the densest, most powerful objects in the universe, I think that can kind of help get into the sound world, that I'm going for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also this composer, Chelsea Comschles, who had the privilege of meeting a few years ago, who wrote another piece with kind of space vibes. It's called A Hidden Sun Rises for orchestra. And I thought it was a really cool piece when I first heard it. And that was sort of a little bit of inspiration to some different musical elements. And how to kind of create a extraterrestrial sound, space sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And she actually notes that her piece incorporates elements both from John Williams combining with more contemporary techniques.
Yeah, it's always fun to blend things and combine in ways that others might not expect.
All right.
Very cool. I love those inspirations.
Yeah.
How's it been since you finished writing the piece? What's your experience seeing it out in the world?
Oh my gosh. Well, it's been super exciting and has kind of gone into the world in a way that I kind of never dreamed of.
Right.
I had just been planning to writing it for a reading session at this festival, Brevard Music Festival in North Carolina, to get a recording of the piece. But then I was able to also get a reading session with the Yale Symphony Orchestra at school, the recording you hear.
They're so good.
Right? Oh my gosh. So talented. And then from there, I got to submit the piece for a competition for a prize with the Brevard Festival. That they pick one piece from the composers at the festival every year to program on their orchestra concerts the next summer. And I ended up winning the prize, which was crazy. Super excited. I did not expect that. Additionally, beyond that, the head conductor at the Brevard Music Center Orchestra is Maestro Keith Lockhart, who is also the conductor of the Boston Pops Orchestra. And this was kind of one of those moments of insane luck,
Mm-hmm. Lockhart.
Oh, nice.
That was dumb. That was my bad.
Where the Boston Pops actually had a concert this spring season that was entirely space themed. And not only that, it was a multimedia space themed concert. So they literally had other pieces where they're playing orchestra pieces with projections of space images.
Wow. Perfect timing.
Right? And so I got an email from the conductor being you have this concert that your piece might work perfect for. I'm oh my gosh, this is crazy, and he's like, so I'm like, well, no promises, but I'll let you know. And then like a month before the concert, I get this email from Boston Pop's librarian asking for my professional score and parts. I'm like,
wow.
Oh, this is crazy.
I hope you remember that moment forever. I hope save that email.
Yes, right. Yes.
Yeah. I actually have a folder in my photo albums for career high moments like that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Start collecting them now. It sounds like you'll probably have a lot in the future. Oh. So what do you hope is next? What do you hope is next? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, this piece has been sort of like a part of my life for now over a year now. So like, I think I'm like in a way ready to move on to like other pieces. I'm composing new music. I'm at another music summer festival now in Maine, which is very exciting. Getting to write some new pieces.
Cool.
But also, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens with this piece. If it gets played anywhere else. I actually was able to get in contact. It's super cool with this group called KV265. Actually, I'm curious. Does that refer to something in space?
It's not ringing a bell. I could see it being a designation for a type of star, maybe.
Okay, interesting. Anyway, so there's this group that call themselves KV265 that actually has this whole science and symphony program, which
perfect,
right?
All at the same time. This is great.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of very similar concept to what I'm doing, where they usually take like existing pieces from classical repertoire. Though sometimes they also, I think, commission new orchestral works by contemporary composers, and then make like science films with it was originally all astronomy images, but then now they're also doing things about, I don't know, some other science concepts with images projected on the screen. And similarly to the video I made, it's not just like we're throwing some images on the screen. It's all like timed with the music, and it's basically a music video, except just with orchestral music. And so I was able to get in contact with them, which was like super exciting to kind of hear how they do this thing. And they've been working on this project for like over a decade now. So they have a lot of experience with how to do this very niche thing. And first of all, that was really interesting, like hearing about the way they went about the logistics of getting like the images on the screen, like synchronized with a live orchestra. What I had done was, I had the official video with all cuts, like timed perfectly that I'd done with, the video editing software. But then I made a second version where I just actually exported each individual video clip separately, the 35 different clips. And then I just tweaked them a little bit to make sure that there were like 2 or 3 extra seconds of the clip at the end, so just in case it was like a little bit late, nothing would screw up, And then had someone at the concert triggering the cues live. So like following the conductor like the rest of the musicians, and then clicking the button when it was right in time for measure 17 or whatever to cue the next video clip, which I think worked pretty well from what I heard, but it obviously a little bit tricky to get it perfectly synced up. And so it was really interesting learning about what they usually do, which is a technique that apparently comes from like traditional like Hollywood film scoring. I think it's called punches and streamers.
Cool.
They'd make the film without music, and then they'd like put that on the screen, but like over the top of the image would actually be these like bars that run from like left to right on the screen that show you how much time is left on this individual music cue. So if you want this moment in the music to be perfectly synced up with this moment in the film and the action, or like a certain cut or something, then it would show the bar like getting close to the edge of the screen. And the conductor of the orchestra would be watching that video and be following along in real time. So instead of the cues following the conductor, it's actually the conductor following the video. And that allows the video to be super precise, the exact like number of seconds and milliseconds or whatever that it's like supposed to be. Especially with an orchestra like the Boston Pops, they're pretty used to like working in this way, because obviously they do, like, unlike more traditional symphony orchestras, they do a lot of concerts that incorporate like playing along with like movies, they're playing soundtrack to like movies, like Star Wars, that kind of thing. And so, projected on the screen is just the normal video, but then there's a second version of the video that's playing on a screen right next to the conductor, where he or she can follow along with the...
Yeah. That's so interesting. All these little techniques that we've had to come up with.
So now I know for like the future, like if this ever gets performed again, or if I ever want to do something like this in the future, write another piece. Yeah, now I know a better way to do it. Yeah. And it was also just, super cool to get connected with them. And they said that, they might potentially be interested in including it on one of their concerts in the future. So that would be super exciting if this, piece got another performance.
Nice. Are you thinking of doing any more space-related pieces?
I've been thinking about it. I mean, for one thing, one thing that crossed my mind was like, the more like astrophysics part of it, the more like the special and general relativity. Is there some way I can incorporate like that, some like super like rhythmic piece, where, maybe musicians are, there's this famous piece by Steve Reich called Piano Phase, where it's this two pianists playing this, repeated figure. And they start out by playing the exact same thing on two pianos, playing in sync with one another. And then gradually over the course of, it's like 10 or 15 minutes or something, they gradually grow out of sync with each other. So one of them becomes slightly ahead of the other. Suddenly it's like, whoa, what's going on? It's like, it's like you accidentally didn't sync up your like, your like two audio clips and it keeps like growing apart from each other. So it goes from just sounding weird to suddenly they're actually playing different rhythms. Like they're playing maybe like suddenly in sync with one another, but like one note behind, like 1/8 note behind, So maybe I don't know, do something like a little bit like that, where it's like musicians getting slightly out of sync with one another. That's supposed to be like, time moving at different speeds from different frames of reference or something. I don't know. But I think that would, I think it's an interesting concept, but I definitely want to write for like kind of the right moment logistically, because obviously that'd be a kind of piece where you'd have to have musicians that are like super good with playing like rhythmically in time to the point that they can correctly play out of time with one another.
Right.
It could even be a piece maybe where, unlike, traditional like classical, like chamber music where, you're just playing with one another and feeling the rhythm together. Maybe you're actually like listening to a click track on headphones or something like that. That might help you stay like perfectly like in time. I don't know. That's just an idea, cool. But then, I guess I'm also on the lookout for other space ideas. I think I like to kind of write pieces inspired by, a lot of different fields. So not just astronomy, but like psychology or like neuroscience or things like that.
We'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We like science here in general. Okay. Well, it's been so fun to learn about you and Active Galactic Nuclei, the musical piece. Is there a place where people can follow you and your work online? Do you want to share any links or anything?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. Yeah. Yes, you can find me on my website at rorybricca.com. That's RORYBRICCA.com. Or you can follow my kind of newsletter blog on Substack at rorybricca.substack.com, where I kind of share my latest recordings of my music, along with like I like to write some stuff about kind of the thought process behind the piece. So my first post was about Active Galactic Nuclei and kind of going through the whole story of how I learned about these objects in my science class and how I started thinking a lot of the stuff that I talked about today, and some more details in there if you really want to dive in. That's where I'll be sharing my latest music and kind of ideas behind it. So feel free to check those out.
Awesome. Yeah, those links are in the episode description. So go there to follow Rory's music.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I've had a great time. And listeners, no matter what rhythm you're dancing to, you're still space.
Love that.
Pale Blue Pod is hosted by me, Dr. Moiya McTier, aka the universe's bestie. I created the show with original co-host Corinne Caputo, a comedienne extraordinaire, and help from the Multitude Productions team. Our theme music is by Evan Johnston, and our cover art is by Shay McMullen, and our audio editing is handled by the incomparable Misha Stanton. I am Go Astro Mo everywhere online, and you can stay in touch with the show and the universe by following Pale Blue Pod on Instagram or checking out our website, palebluepod.com. We are a member of Multitude, an independent podcast collective and production studio. So if you like Pale Blue Pod, you will love the other shows that live at multitude.productions. And if you want a shout out on the show and research notes for every episode, you can join our community over at patreon.com/palebluepod for just about $1 per episode. Thank you so much for listening to Pale Blue Pod. I'll be back next week. Bye.